According to the timestamp of my file, I missed the first 17 minutes of this Q&A session. My apologies for this. Here is the rest of it. Enjoy.
Commercial where they're like going up these desert canyons and stuff, and to me the quarry map kind of felt like it should be a Canyonero commercial, so the music was kind of inspired by that too.
But it was a cool. I started out blocking in what the gameplay felt like and the kind of space we wanted to make, and then Ryan sat down, our art director, and looked at it and thought, the quarry vibe works really well. It's like sand in the background, and then Cam's music kind of brought it all together, and we got this feel that I totally agree with that comparison to Gerudo Valley. It reminds me of it.
Cool.
Yeah.
One quick thing, just to piggyback off of the Altspace comment. Are you guys worried about patent trolls at all, like coming after you for stupid stuff like this stage, for example? Because it seems like the lawsuit going against Altspace was basically about a virtual reality performance, entertainment system.
Yeah, honestly, we haven't really looked into it, haven't really thought about it. I guess maybe we should.
You guys haven't had any problems with it yet?
No.
Good to know. Glad to hear that.
All right, Rick, go on. What you got?
Hey, I'm a huge fan of the virtual Frisbee. Are you guys working on any new courses? And is the idea of Ultimate Frisbee in the works, possibly?
Oh, great question. So, BeeBoz, why don't you talk about Ultimate Frisbee?
Sure. So one of our players, Mama Monkey, created an event around Ultimate Frisbee. We gave her a few small tools to change how the soccer map works, and she went in there and created that game. I don't know if anyone has had a chance to play that with her.
A lot of fun.
So people seem to think it's a ton of fun. So since then, we've been talking here about, I wouldn't say making it into a real game, but like maybe working towards that. We need to play with it a little bit more, actually spend some time in the game ourselves, and then we'll go from there.
I would add to that. I think one of our goals is to make the event system flexible enough that you can create variant games like that pretty easily and kind of manage them yourself in a really easy way.
For sure.
Did we answer that? And then we're not currently working on any more courses, but I would imagine we will at some point. Yeah.
Awesome.
All right, Jay do stamps. Jay do stops.
What will the next quest be?
John?
The one that we did a sneak preview for is actually a sequel to the Golden Trophy. So stay tuned. You'll see more about that very soon. We're working hard on it every single day. Lots of good ideas coming together.
Yeah, this stuff is
magic.
Yeah, this stuff is looking really cool. It's we hope that you guys are going to have a lot of fun with the new quest. All right, Jacob.
Yeah, I like.
Okay.
I like a new quest.
Are you only focusing on the sequel, or do you have ideas for future ones? And for the sequel,
Yeah, the goggles look nice.
Will
The hat looks nice too.
monsters be the same? And
Thank you.
will there be different weapons?
I'm pretty sure
All right, John, this is all you, baby.
All right, yeah. So starting with the far future stuff. What are quests down the road? What are the ideas for the new stuff? For that, nothing concrete yet. Lots of good ideas. Please keep them coming. If you're inspired with a new quest idea, send it our way. I don't know if you're in touch with these guys. Spend more time on our actual community, Reddit, Discord. But we'd love to hear anything from pirates to zombies, whatever quest you're interested in. The more concrete, near-term stuff. The sequel to Golden Trophy, there is a new weapon, there's new abilities, and we're currently looking at putting some variety into the enemy type. So I expect we'd land some of that stuff for this new one.
All right, let's go solo 2.2. Oh, sorry, was there more?
Wait, did you say the weapons?
There is a new weapon.
There's gonna be a new weapon.
Okay, and since you're taking suggestions for new quests, maybe you should do a superhero one. But I really don't know how that one works. But
Not a bad idea. All right.
I want wizard powers.
Write that on the whiteboard, BeeBoz. Okay. We'll remember superheroes. Solo 2.2.
Have you ever developed any other games or worked on any other games than Rec Room?
Oh yeah, I mean I think all of us have. So in a previous life, I used to work at a company called Pandemic Studios.
In a previous
which
life?
which was a studio down in Los Angeles in California. And so we made the Mercenaries series, made the original Battlefront series, although I wasn't on that team, I was on the Mercenaries team. We made Destroy Humans. These are kind of going back a few years now. I'm showing my age a little bit, but yeah, more recently, so John and I worked together on the HoloLens team, and made a game called Robo-Raid, which was kind of mixed reality game where robots would bash through the walls and you had to shoot them. If you haven't, there's not that many HoloLenses out there in the world. It's an amazing piece of hardware, but hard to get your hands on. But if you have a look on YouTube for a game called Robo-Raid, that's a game that we were involved in the past. What about you, BeeBoz? Do you have anything you want to share?
Sure. What did I work on in the past is the question?
Yeah.
My first job in the game industry was working on Magic the Gathering, the trading card game. Has anyone played Magic here?
Yeah, no one's heard of Magic.
Some Magic players, cool. From there, I spent a while working on Facebook games at a company called Big Fish, and then mobile games for a while, free-to-play mobile games. Dabbled with the HoloLens for like half a second, and then ended up here.
Yeah.
John?
All right.
Also, one more thing. I just think you're really cool. That's it.
Thank you. We think you're really cool too. Jeff D5.
Just two things real quick. One, maybe any sort of automobile or boat or plane as an idea for like maybe not really a quest, but just another thing like racing.
So we talked a little bit about go-karts earlier. I don't know if you're in the room when we were talking about that. So we did do a. You heard that? Yeah.
End of that.
Oh, okay. So I mean, we have done some prototyping. We haven't yet figured out how to get past the nausea issue for stuff like that. So we're not actively working on that. We have a fun prototype we want to do for some vehicle stuff, but I don't want to say more than that. If anyone's on the Oculus, I don't know if it's come out on Steam yet, but I would recommend a friend's game called Ultra Wings. It's kind of like Pilot Wings in VR, and if you want to fly like ultralight planes, really fun game. So check that out if you really want to fly planes in VR. I don't believe it is free. I think it's like $20. Yeah. I know. All right, Carthage.
Have you guys had a chance to play around with any of the Knuckles dev kits yet? And do you have any thoughts on how that might refine interactions in Red Room?
Yeah. So yes, we have had a chance to play around with those. Very cool. I would say we don't have like really firm plans there. So let me kind of back up a bit and say like one of our goals with Rec Room is to be very cross-platform. So we want to be on as many platforms as we can be. And so that means we've got a lot of thinking to do about to what extent can we support a bunch of platform-specific controller stuff. So that's not a no that we wouldn't support like all of the features of Knuckles. It means that we got to do a lot of thinking to think about what that's going to look like. But I will say the controls are great. We have a plan for supporting them as soon as they're publicly available. And it also connects to, we have a general goal of making the avatars continually more expressive. So we want to be able to be more expressive, more personalized with the avatars. We'd love to hear anyone's ideas on that. Like that's something we always want to get feedback on. But yeah, but adding arms. Maybe. Like I don't know. Be curious to hear people's thoughts on that. Like I personally don't feel like there's a ton of. I don't really get taken out of the experience by missing arms. I feel like the avatars are plenty expressive, and I get more taken out of it by broken fake arms. But never say never.
Icarina, you have, and you feel it natural.
Okay, I'll have a look. Yeah, no, I think that's it's an interesting one, and as you probably noticed with Rec Room, we experiment a lot, we change things a lot. So I never say never on things like fingers and arms. All right, who hasn't asked a question yet? I want to get someone like Fresh.
Just to stem off from the expressiveness.
Yeah.
What's the deal with the gaze thing that you guys were working on?
Oh yeah, okay. So we showed that at GDC. This year. So that was, we worked with Valve, and they gave us some prototype hardware. They gave us a prototype 5. It was pretty cool. That had eye tracking hardware built into it because they were kind of experimenting with it. And they were like, all right, well, what would this mean for social VR? And so, yeah, we built a prototype where we had an eye tracking Vive. It would drive the pupils, like the eyes on your avatar in real time. You could do like cross your eyes and it would detect that as a gesture and kind of make a funny face. That video is online, so if you look up Rec Room eye tracking, you should be able to have a look at that video. Terrence, our concept artist. It was honestly, it was really interesting. What we found was that we really think that eye tracking could add a lot because there was something about the subtlety of like when you were like trying to share a whiteboard or something, like just the very subtle information about where your gaze was tracking independent of your head was actually really interesting. Yeah. So yeah, that was a very interesting experiment. All right, Jeff D5, you got another one? Sorry, folks, you're next.
It's just a quick statement, not really a question, but I think I would be okay with advertisements in the game if they were in the form of like a picture on the wall versus like wait 30 seconds for this ad to finish.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that would be okay if that, what do other people think?
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. That's interesting feedback. Yeah, honestly, we're a long way from having to make decisions on this, but thanks for that feedback. Like, I don't know how I feel about having real-world brands in Rec Room. It's kind of nice to have a feeling that we're in this kind of, parallel universe.
Like Dasani on the
People
water
don't need to buy
bottles.
toothpaste in VR.
We could advertise other VR games.
Yeah. All right, folks, what you got? What you got?
Yeah, what I'm asking is, since there are full VR suits being made, will you ever be making legs for the characters in the game?
So again, I would put that in the same bucket with hands and like fingers and arms. Like maybe, like definitely wouldn't say no. I think our priority is going to be supporting a broad array of platforms. And I think for the near-term future, most of the platforms are going to be 6 degree of freedom head tracking, 6 degree of freedom hand tracking. So that's where our focus is, and making sure we work really well across all of those platforms first, and then we'll look at like more specific, like because if you look at the VR is already not a huge market yet. It's getting there, but it's not like it's not game consoles or smartphones yet. And then the fraction of people who have full bodysuit VR tracking systems is like a fraction of a fraction. So it's hard for us to justify going too deep on that right now.
Yeah. And I have another question as well. About body, because you'll be seeing that we all look the same as our body shape. Would you be able to like change that in the near future?
So I think the way we've handled that so far is that we kind of like have the clothes sort of suggest body shape. So I can imagine us doing clothes that kind of give like a broader body shape. So yeah, I mean, again, this is a great use for the Reddit. Come on to those of you who are familiar with Reddit, come to the Rec Room subreddit. It's just our Rec Room. I'm on there every day. A bunch of us are monitoring that every day. We've also got Discord. We look at the Steam forums. So we really do look at all the feedback and take it all really seriously. So by all means, come and make suggestions. Toxic Raven, what you got?
Okay,
sorry.
For a while too.
Okay, all right. Let's do Toxic Raven, then we'll do what you guys are saying.
Okay, so I have a quick statement. So for the arms, the legs, you could do something like how the body works. You can see your own body, but others can see your body. The same with the legs. Others could see your legs and extensions of your arms. It doesn't have to be perfect.
Interesting thought.
And another thing, talking about the Quest sequel, I'd like to give an idea, or it's under the form of a question.
Yeah, I love it.
Put a question mark at the end.
Yeah. What do you think about adding some sort of magic or some spell? Like, the idea would be...
Terrible, awful idea. That's a terrible idea.
Oh my... So, the quick idea would be a book with the spell or a scroll with the spell, and you could, like... If you want to use the same one.
Alright, so here's the guy you've got to convince.
John, you've done some thinking about this, right?
Talk to him after the show.
Hi.
Alright.
No, thank you.
Who was next?
Jacob's been racing for a while.
I think Pug's been waiting too.
Oh, Pug, sorry, Pug, you are ghosted for me. I don't know why. Pug, please go.
2 things. One, thank you for
It's a robot.
Bringing me back twice.
It's a dollar.
Okay, so I kind
You
of
sound like a robot. It's hard to understand you.
Yeah, I can barely understand you.
You sound like a robot being killed on by
I
water.
forgot that I had that effect on.
That's an effect.
Alright, try again.
Two things. One, thank you for bringing me back twice, and
Thank you for verifying your age.
do you have any ideas for future designs of the rec center?
Good question. So, fairly recently we did an updated layout, so you could play basketball a little better. I would think that the thing I want to see more of in the rec center is more of the kind of fun little things that tracks, like how far away you scored a basket from, and maybe some better scoring for the darts, little stuff like that. I personally really I always spend, every time I come into a rec room, I spend about 10 minutes shooting hoops, and so I think a little bit of that goes a long way. So I think that's probably the next thing. Next iteration you could expect on the rec center.
I'd love to see a tracker on the paddle, the ping pong ball paddle. How many times I hit the ping pong ball? That would be nice.
Yeah, I definitely want that. We're gonna move the featured event door actually. So next update, the featured event door won't be right on your left as you come in. It'll actually share a door with the lounge. So the lounge will just be the lounge when there's no event, but then when there's an event, that door will take you to the event. So just a heads up, that's coming soon. All right, who was next?
We got Jacob over here.
All right, Jacob.
Oh, how much more minutes until this is over? Because this is an after question.
30 minutes.
We got another 30 minutes.
Oh
okay,
gosh. So I was about to ask, can I have a picture?
After, we can do it after.
Let's do it after. Let's do it after. All right, who else got a question? All right, the parable.
I really liked that this was an advertised event, like a poster for it. Can we expect any more? Or a basketball shooting contest?
Yes.
With
all right, let's keep the chatter down if you don't mind. Someone's talking to someone else in the room, I think. The parable. So we are still learning, and this is something which is BeeBoz's kind of focus right now. But our goal is to make it so that if you're hey, I really wish there was a shooting hoops event that was advertised, and I could get people to find out about it and kind of have them come. We want to set it up so that you can do that in Rec Room, set it up yourself, and just kind of run that event, so you don't always have to just wait for us to think of it. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So we're trying to work on a kind of we're trying to think of it systemically as opposed to we just always create the events.
Yeah, in the short term, we're hosting these events, or we're having a few players host them, just to kind of get some learnings, figure out how it works, figure out what you guys want to see, and then, like Gribbly said, in the longer term, we want to have customizable spaces that you guys can set however you want, set what items are in there, set what it looks like, and then create an event that reflects what you want to do.
Yeah, and I should say, you guys are helping us learn about events right now. So, this is a design Q&A, so I just want you to be aware that you are literally part of the design process right now as we speak.
We're designers.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. Thank you for helping design Rec Room. All right, Vaults.
With the camera, sometimes I take a picture and then I accidentally throw the camera away without sending it to a profile or something. So maybe you could try and add a gallery where you could save a photo to a gallery so you can look at the photo later on.
Definitely needed. Definitely on our
I'm
list.
with you, Vaults.
Yeah.
Or maybe when you take a photo, send it to other people.
Yes, agreed. We definitely plan to support that. We're not 100% sure how that'll work yet, but yes, we want to do that for sure.
Gribbly? How about Bucko?
Yeah. Bucko, let's do it.
Bucko.
Do you think you could ever add a way to clap in game without breaking our controllers?
Good idea. So we have prototyped that. One of our programmers, Sarah, she had a great prototype of that. I can't remember why we didn't ship it yet. I think I thought it was great and everyone else hated it. I think that might have been what it was. That happens a lot.
Does the new system that we're probably not talking about here have a way to applaud?
You can do it Dumbledore style.
Not exactly, not exactly.
Okay.
So, I mean, all we really need to do is allow you to high-five yourself, and that would be like clapping. But yeah, no, it's a good thought, and something we played with before, but we haven't quite solved yet. But yeah, no, I think like applauding people and showing love is a love thing. All right, super synapse.
So I kind of have a two-part question. The first part is how many servers do y'all have? And the second part is, for certain things like quests, do y'all have any kind of ideas of having a lounge for the quest that we can meet up in and group up to do the quest? Because sometimes I feel that it's an uneven weight between experienced players and inexperienced players. And inexperienced players just want to have fun, or experienced players that want to actually hit the S-class.
Okay, I'm not going to go too deep on this because this is not a technical Q&A, but in terms of servers, it's dynamic and scales with how many people are online. And so in terms of like a quest lobby and kind of matching people on skill and stuff like that, we've had something kind of on our backlog for a long time, which is a bit of a refresh of our matchmaking system. We're about to get to that, and that opens up a whole bunch of possibilities in terms of way more creative and flexible matchmaking. It also opens us up to distributing our servers better all around the world. Because right now, if you're in Europe or if you're in Asia or anywhere other than North America, basically, you definitely have a much higher ping time to our system. And so, yeah, that's something we're actively working on is getting our servers much better distributed so everyone around the world has a kind of much more equal experience.
There's a really important question addressing this one.
Okay.
Can we still meet with our friends from other continents?
Yes. Oh, definitely a huge design goal is there's one population rec room, everyone's together all of the time. Like that's kind of one of our goals for any time we add a different platform. We want to make sure that everyone can interact with everyone else. Every time we like add a server around the world, we want to keep the rec room family together. That's the goal.
So I asked this Wednesday, will you add the customization to your room?
Oh, yeah, that was a question. So yes, I mean that's a very commonly requested feature. People want to customize the dorm room, or they want to customize different, the lounge or stuff. I don't want to give you a time frame too much because, we work on a lot of stuff simultaneously, and things take longer than we think. But it's definitely on our list. I think it's pretty inevitable that we're going to let you customize a lot more than you can currently.
Yeah, in the spirit of how we build features and the order we build them, I think it's really, certainly a thing we all see years down the road for sure. It's just a question of when do we start building it and what are the components we start with.
Right. Yeah, so you'll probably see us start small and just let us do little bits and things, learn what people like, and then kind of steadily expand it, which is what we do with most things. We started with one paintball map and one paintball game mode, and have expanded over time. We'll do the same with things like customization.
So you'll be able to change the color of your pillow on your bunk.
Yeah, that's it. Stay tuned. All right, hang on. Who has not asked a question yet? Georgia, is that you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So with Ready Player One coming out, are you going to do anything? Because this feels most like what I imagined Ready Player One to be like. Both the lounge and all the weird stuff. Are you going to do any kind
minus the pop culture?
Minus the pop culture.
Yeah, well, minus the multi-billion-dollar quest. You can have my entire fortune if you find a secret Easter egg. You can have the $20 in my bank account. sorry. Keep going.
So the two things are are you going to do anything more Ready Player One-ish? And is there ever going to be a world of more user-generated content so that the kind of almost like a metaverse-y thing can happen with Rec Room, or is that not the scope for Rec Room?
Well, good question. So I think, what would it mean for Rec Room to be the metaverse? What do you think would need to be there?
Right. So I think it's more if there was sort of lots of user-generated content. So if this connected to things that other developers have built. So this was because all the quests everything feels like a different game. So if there was all these kind of interconnected games where Rec Room is the hub to connect to those. It's what Oculus are trying to do with rooms and spaces to some degree.
Sure,
Rec Room feels more like that thing than anything I've seen so far from Oculus. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. And so I wouldn't say that it's our number one stated goal, but it's I think the way we think about Rec Room is that the most important thing that you find in Rec Room is other people. And really we're about bringing people together to have, amazing gatherings together. We've really started with mainly games and everyone enjoys all that kind of stuff. We love it when we see people hosting events that go beyond games. And, we've had interview and web series that, people conduct interviews in the lounge. So over time, we'd love to see the scope of gatherings grow. And I think the way we would think about custom spaces and letting developers build custom stuff is like, if it emerges from the types of gatherings that people want to host, then we're all for it. If it's just about building new stuff, I don't know. Never say never, but yeah, I think we would take a people first approach if that makes any sense.
And so the second thing was about, obviously with the Altspace VR stuff going, do you intend to kind of, they all did all the cool stuff with Reggie Watts and the comedians and stuff like that. Do you intend for Rec Room to be the place for that kind of stuff to happen in the future, or is it more smaller scale events? Is what
we hope that our dream is that Rec Room is like at least one of the default social VR places to be, right? So we hope that Reggie Watts would have to be having events in Rec Room because it's like that's where all the people are hanging out. That's our dream.
Facebook VR.
All right,
that's what I was thinking.
I sniper.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so this is a bit of a weird question. Just bear with me for a
I
minute.
love it. I love weird questions.
Yeah, that's true. I thought a lot about how indie developers seem to be at the forefront of the industry in terms of breaking new ground, whether that's VR like you guys are doing or whatever else it may be. But I think that applies socially as well in terms of game development. And I'm wondering if you guys, do you do diversity hiring? Because I know that women seem to have a lot of trouble in the games, developing and whatnot. I want to know what you guys are doing.
So yeah, we definitely try. I think something we try and do is something we say all the time is we want Rec Room to be a fun and welcoming environment for people from all walks of life, right? And so that means we want women to feel as welcome here as men. We want people from all around the world to feel welcome, no matter what language they speak. It even extends as far as people with different physical dispositions. We've got some users who are confined to wheelchairs, or maybe have only the use of one arm. All of these things are really important, and so we kind of want to make sure that the systems we build are taking into account the perspectives of all those different people. And I will say, the women working against Gravity have been hugely useful to kind of cluing us into some features that make their experience better. And so, yeah, we really try and be open-minded about all of that stuff. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, but you are hiring women and stuff, right? I just noticed.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's people like Alchema.
Yeah, totally. And if there's any women in the audience or listening who want to apply, please send us your resume. All right. Who hasn't asked a question yet? Chakari, I don't think you've asked yet.
Apply, Marissa, apply.
No, I haven't. But about
I'm gonna teach you
music that plays
programming.
in the background, I normally just mute it, but is there any chance that you can make it where there's different music that can play in the background?
Yes, we are thinking about ways to support that. We hope to. There's a lot of both technical and licensing complexity that comes with that. But one of my dreams is I'd love us to be able to host a karaoke night or something. I think that would be an enormous amount of fun. And so we gotta get that figured out. All right, what else we got? Carthage.
Given that you guys sort of are known for prototyping very fast and just trying things all the time, can you maybe share with us any avenues you started going down that didn't pan out, that were interesting?
Ooh.
John, BeeBoz, you got anything for that? All of my ideas are perfect, so it's all
I think with every activity you do see, the thing you don't see is there are empty husks of different ideas all kind of scattered around that we don't release. So, the first quest that came out, we liked what we put out, but we didn't like a bunch of the things we tried leading up to that. And it's like, okay, here's a sword that shoots arrows. Here's a sword that you can throw and it comes back to you. We've tried a whole bunch of stuff, but the kind of the standard we hold ourselves to is let's play our thing every day. Let's get into it. Let's share our feedback. Let's iterate. And so a lot of those things get kind of shed in the process of building something that we're proud to put out there.
Yeah.
That comes back to you. Sounds cool.
And we hit on the big one, the go-karts. Half of us felt very sick.
Yeah. All right, 55.
The middle finger. Why not?
The rule board. It's like right out there.
Like name one game that has it.
Okay, so I mean, honestly, we haven't really thought about it too much, but I'd say one answer is because you'd all be doing it to me right now.
Possibly, yeah.
I didn't need to see that. All right, well, yeah, yes, very clever, Bolts. Thank you.
Let's
All right,
not
what,
scare
you got a
things
question,
up
or you
enough,
just want to flip me off?
No, I don't.
I never
Coming
thought
back
of
to
that.
the customization of the customization of the dorm room. For several games, maybe you could do a certain challenge that you could do to win a trophy that can go into your dorm room.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, we played around with the. That's also goes back to Carthage's point about ideas that kind of didn't make it in. But we talked about an idea of a trophy room, which eventually evolved into what we have now for the weekly challenges. So if you look at the weekly challenges, you get these skins. That initially came from more of an achievement system where they would be available all the time. You'd work towards them, and then you would earn trophies that would go in your trophy room. We decided to simplify it down to the weekly challenge system that you guys see now.
Yeah, and just to add on to that, like, you know, something to keep in mind for us is like, because we do, as Carthage pointed out, like we do prototype a lot. We change the app a lot, you know, like we update very regularly. And so we change things a lot. So sometimes like things like trophies and achievements make us a bit nervous because we want to make sure that we can experiment and go as fast as we can. And so if we make a promise like, hey, you can get this achievement and everyone has a fair chance of getting it, and you know, it might tie our hands a bit much in terms of experimenting. So I'd say things like achievements and trophies probably would come a bit further down the line when things have stabilized a lot more.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, Mama Zhongyi, what you got?
Okay. Just in regards to the, I know you guys know the Helix TV VR interviews that are going on.
Oh yeah.
Sound like you're singing.
So I noticed that you guys made a custom shirt for them, which is really cool. Have
Yeah.
you guys ever considered using that as some type of initiative or prize? Or for instance, you know, you have the weekly challenges. What if you had like a weekly competition where, you know, the 5 people that had maybe like the highest quest score out of the week got some special shirt or something customized? Have you guys ever considered something like that?
So another idea that got to design doc phase that hasn't made its way to top of the priority list yet is an idea of tournaments. Those could be weekly tournaments, daily tournaments, monthly tournaments, where people would compete in some activity in the game, and then the top players would win prizes. I think that's something that's still down the road for us, but not something that we're looking at in the short term.
Someone's behind there.
Yeah, we're
I see. See someone in the wall.
some confetti out from behind. They're in the vents.
Okay. I'm trying to find people who haven't asked questions yet. Supersonics, let's go with you.
All right. So, question. So I have a lot of games with my VR system, and they get pretty extravagant. They're awesome. But I spend most of my time here, and I think that you guys offer something that most games don't, as far as the social aspect and everything else.
Yes.
The question is, what is your plan to either monetize or to get more than an early access game? And what is your relationship like with the Vive and the Oculus systems, since I think you're such an asset to their company?
Well, let me answer the second part first. So I would say both Valve and Steam and HTC with their Vive stuff and the Oculus crew, they've been great to us. They've been really great. They've helped us with development hardware and support and helping us debug things. So they've been great partners. Both of them really, really great to work with. So yeah, nothing but love for those guys. What was the first part of the question? Oh, how are we going to monetize? So we talked a little bit about this earlier. You know, I would say no immediate plans. You know, we feel like we've got a lot of growing to do. You know, we've been able to raise money, which is great. So we're kind of like on pretty secure ground from a monetary point of view. So Rec Room's going to be around for at least the next few years. I wouldn't worry about that. And in terms of monetization, you know, like absolutely at some point, you know, this needs to be a sustainable business. But we honestly don't know how that's going to work. It's, you know, if you go to our website since day one, since we put it up, we've had a plain statement there about, we don't believe in exploitative monetization. We think there's a way to do it that's fair to the creators, that's fair to the players, that's fair to everybody. And so, what exactly that looks like, what's the mix between advertising and like maybe buying items or whatever it is. Posters on the walls, yeah, we're not sure. But I would say we're at least months, if not years away from really doing a deep dive on that. We want to see the VR market expand. We're in good shape in terms of being able to just keep develop the app. So we just want to keep growing and growing, and we'll come back to that when the time's right.
Awesome. Thank you.
Got a couple new hands over here, Ken.
Okay, we got Vander something.
Vander
Gaming. I have kind of two questions, but one's like a suggestion. My first question is, what about any kind of movement like different from teleporting like that? Instead of doing that, maybe like a locomotion.
Yeah, who was playing when we had the ice skating bug the other day? I know, Aki, you played.
I love that.
Yeah. So short answer is we don't know. Like, I will say we're not actively exploring alternate locomotion methods right now. And again, it's for a very similar reason to the go-karts. It's like, pretty much every locomotion method has issues for some fraction of the player base. You're typically looking at 20 to 30% who have a real strong reaction to non-teleport based motion. We're not religiously opposed to it. It's just like in terms of priorities, I think there's so much more to learn about all the different interactions. Teleporting works pretty well. If you design for it, like with Quest and Paintball, I think you can, hopefully you agree that those are pretty fun. And so, I think we designed for it, and as I've said for a few other things, never say never. We're certainly not religiously against it, but I think there's plenty more higher priority experimentation to do before we go deep on that.
I would like to have a constant rotation. Maybe that will be a thing.
So, what system are you on? Are you on Oculus or Vive?
Oculus.
Okay, so if you go into the settings and turn on, maybe it's not on Oculus. I'm not sure. We do have a smooth rotate. If on Vive, I know we have
I'm on Oculus right now, and I see
it's for the Vive. It's the grip rotation.
Oh yeah, it's the grip rotate. Yeah. Okay. I think that might be the only feature that's on the Vive and not the Oculus. And that's because we shipped it before we shipped our Oculus build. But there is a smooth rotate there.
Yeah, I would like to ask something about the settings.
Grip buttons.
In the
and I had a suggestion.
Bubble and
that makes me nauseous.
The suggestion was, what about a secret agent theme, like Quest?
Yeah, that's a fun one. So
that looks cool.
Secret agent's pretty fun. John's your guy for Quest, so convince him.
Secret agent. John, your voice is very low right now.
Yeah, you've gone monster voice mode. Okay.
Rayborn, did you have a question?
Alright, so we got 10 minutes left. What other questions can we answer for you? Alright, Rayborn, what you got?
Well, first off, just sitting here, I'm thinking of like little ideas, like adding Jenga, adding like a 20-sided dice, like just like all these little things. And you guys mentioned like adding rooms where you can add custom things. But like just like when we're playing the game, we think of all these ideas. What is the best venue, and especially getting close to the end here, what is the best venue to put forward ideas that you guys will see online? You mentioned Reddit. Are there is that the best one, or are there others?
Our Rec Room is great. The Discord is very active, and we're pretty active on both of those. We also read the Steam forums every day. Any one of those works, but if I had to pick one, I'd probably say the Reddit is one of the easiest ones, because it's good to you can have longer form conversations on the Reddit than you can on the Discord, where everything kind of scrolls pretty fast. Jeff D5.
Yes, love the events. Came on and missed a few, but it'd be nice to see more. But to continue with that, I'd love to see like the average person create their own timed event, sort of thing, like a door across from that door.
Like a scheduled event, like hey, on Thursday night, come and play such and such with Jeff D5. Is that what you mean?
Exactly.
Agreed, Jeff. I'm hoping we can get towards that soon. We've got the design documents written for stuff like that. We just have to make it a priority and move towards it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Black Angel up the back.
I have a question that has to do with customizing your dorm room.
maybe you could just, you know, every time you take a photo and you put it on one of the walls, it stays there and then it disappears. Maybe it could just stay there forever. It doesn't seem that hard for customization.
Like a photo board.
Yeah, that's yes, you're right. That's a good idea.
Why did everyone just open
All right. So Vaults.
We're getting vote kicked.
Yes, I was going to be saying, I have two questions. One is of the outfits. Every time we take an outfit off and then we switch to a different outfit, we would have to take all this outfit off and then put the new one on. You could like maybe have a gallery of saved outfits.
Yeah. I think we'll very likely do something like that at some point. Yeah, definitely on the list.
Yes.
Okay. Right, and what was the
So you can
second
wear
one?
your formal gathering outfit.
Yeah. And then the second one was maybe making this lounge room where we're doing events, maybe you can kind of change it a little bit to the normal lounge, because this does look the exact same as the lounge, so maybe you could like deck this place out with some things of the event that's happening. So say you're playing art, there's like a bunch of pictures around, and then you're doing like a Q&A, you can have a bunch of pictures of that around and all that.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, great idea, Bolts.
Thank you.
Jacob is bouncing up and down over here.
Oh, all right, Jacob, you first.
So, do you think you could add, like, in the future, you can, like, pull up your, clothing just from your watch, and then, so you don't have to travel back to the dorm room and then leave your party, and then you have to, like, look for them.
I'd probably add that to what Volts was saying, is like, you know, if we have like an outfit system, we might let you change your outfits, but we probably wouldn't let you browse all of your clothes like that. That just from a technical point of view, that's kind of a pain in the butt, but we might let you choose between outfit presets, something like that.
Like, maybe if you're in the dorm room, there's this drawer that you can press, and it shows each complete set, or each set that is connected together. So then you can just press the set, and then boom, you have it all on at once. So then you don't have to go drawer to drawer. Yeah.
Customization thing.
I like
Right, that's BeeBoz department for sure.
Yeah, I definitely like the saving out an outfit idea, and then being able to access that from your watch. That's a feature that one of our artists has access to right now for when he makes screenshots and stuff. So.
And if you do that in the future,
you see the splash screens when the game is loading, and there's like posed characters. He's got kind of a system that does that. All right, J2 stops.
Will there ever be like an in-game currency?
Yes.
Maybe.
To buy items.
We've talked
and then you
about
can buy
it.
outfits.
All right. Question for the room: if there was, what should it be called?
Rec bucks.
Just shout it out. Rec bucks.
Rec coins.
Rec something.
Records.
Okay.
Records.
All right. So we're nearly out of time. We got 5 minutes. Any last questions? Let's do Julian.
So, what about boxing? There's news on that a while back, but
Yeah. We did talk about boxing before, like definitely on the list. I personally am very passionate about it, and I believe we'll get to it. But we got a bunch of stuff we want to do first, so I would say not for the next few months. I know. I want boxing as well. All right, Tlalok, did you have a question?
Can people like import 3D models as like hands or bodies or something like that in the future?
Not currently. We definitely can't currently do that. Something we've talked about, and honestly, we don't know if we want to support that or not. That'd be a good conversation to have on Reddit. Yeah, we're not sure what to think about that yet, because I know definitely some people would like that. I guess we feel like, you know, generally speaking, only a fairly small percentage of players would really do that. So it's like, you know, one of those things where, like go-karts or something like that, we're spending a significant amount of time for something that not all players will get value from. So that's a maybe. We're not religiously opposed to it by any means. So yeah, I would say raise that one on the Reddit, and we can have a more in-depth conversation about it. All right, who else?
What is the hardest design problem that each of you have had to solve recently?
Oh, jeez.
I'm sorry.
Alright, you guys get first on this one.
Glitch exploits, or regular glitches.
Probably for me the leveling curve, I would say. Trying to get the.
Oh yeah.
Interesting bug you found, like something you enjoyed solving. Not bugging,
Yeah, same answer. Like the figuring out how to get the levels to go from 1 to 30 in a way that was enjoyable for people who play every day and enjoyable for people who play once a week, right? And trying to get that balance right, so you feel like you're progressing. It doesn't feel like too far away, but it's still you have to work to get there. That was some juggling that I did to make that happen, which was both fun and challenging. How about you, John?
I think for me, recently, by far, it's been the question of if there were magic in a quest. What is magic and how does it work?
Okay. All right. I'd say for me, probably recently we've been thinking about like cross-platform controller mappings. So looking at all of the different platforms we want to be on, making sure that we get a consistent experience for people on different platforms, planning for the future. And actually, our next update is going to have a pretty interesting new interactive feature in it that I'm going to want a lot of feedback on. I'm not going to give you too many hints, but yeah, definitely stay tuned for that and give us feedback because it'll be a V1 and we're going to expect. All right, it has something to do with expressiveness of your avatar. There's a hint. All right, Daxter.
Will we be able to send messages to your friends like in the messages section?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, keyboard maybe.
So maybe, like, so here, like, this is like, don't take this too literally. This is like kind of like,
Jubies, can you get off stage?
I think he crashed.
I think.
Oh, Jubies, yeah. Okay, sorry, Jubies.
Buddy.
You know, something we've talked about is like, you know, you probably noticed that, you know, we updated the watch, so it's got all these like nice printable buttons and stuff on it. The computer in the dorm room is still really basic. Something we've talked about, like, is maybe merging the computer and the watch into one thing, maybe. I don't know. And that would then like let you type when you're out in the field and.
When I had to put in my email in the computer, it felt really nice to press the button on the keyboard.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I like that typing as well. So I think yes, that's definitely a possibility. All right, I think we got time for one more question. Let's go all the way in the back, Mama Jungi. What you got?
Just a quick question about the watch itself, actually. Maybe this is already been answered. I stepped away for just a minute. I have over 60 pages of friends, and sometimes I take forever to get
Humble
to the
brag.
end. Is there going to be a more streamlined version of that, or a list version anytime soon?
Oh, I have 23 pages. Dang.
So the answer is have less friends. No, I don't mean that.
Curate your friends.
The answer is yes. We know we're going to make that better. I don't think we currently have a really good plan for how to make it better, but we know we need to. So yes. If anyone's got ideas, hit us up on the Reddit. All right. So I think with that, we gotta call it. We're at time.
Wait.
So I want to say.
I had the
hang on. Yeah, we'll stick around, do a couple of photos before we're done. So I just want to say thank you to everyone for being here. Thank you to everyone for playing Rec Room. We love our players. You guys make Rec Room what it is. So we'll be doing more of these in the future. So come back and talk to us again. This has been super fun for us. So I just want to say thank you to everybody.
Thanks so much, guys.
Thank you. You guys are great.
All right. So if anyone wants to do a photo, come up here on the stage. Actually, like we should probably do one at a time. All right. So everyone off the stage. Everyone off the stage. Everyone off the stage. Everyone off the stage. That was a terrible idea. Why did I say that?
Group photo first, maybe?
Oh, okay. All right, let's do a group photo. Everyone on the stage. Everyone on the stage. Let's do a group photo.
Everyone on the stage.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea.
Everyone on?
All right, who's going to take it? Someone's going to take it. It's not going to be me.
I'll take it.
Too many people. Oh my god.
We have a timer, so if somebody moves
Those of us in the
fast,
front should get down a little bit so that they can.
Get up in the front.
Yeah, short people in the front.
How are we all going to get the photos?
Sit on.
Oh, he's doing the selfie.
All right, say cheese.
3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1 again.
Where's the stand up?
Hey, remember that baking suggestion?
Picture of it.
Yeah.
Maybe you could take these group photos and put them in the painting.
Oh yeah.
By the way, our next
That's a
update
great
is going
idea.
to fix the handshake gesture too.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
I was gonna ask, but I didn't know if that
Are you
was
gonna sue me if I take a picture? Well, you're not
Smooth.
I'm only gonna do 3 because I don't need, like, we just talked about how bad the friends list is.
Thanks, man.
No more. Alright, if anyone wants to do a photo, I'm gonna stick around for like 2 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Quick selfie,